I know what you're thinking. You're not in the mood for romance. I know what you're thinking. It sounds too cliche. I know what you're thinking. Here she goes again. But guys, sometimes the human brain makes things more complicated than they need to be. And the most common question that I get from all of you or people I do readings for or in my DMs has to do with, how do I know when I'm done healing? How do I know I've done enough? How do I know when I'm at the finish line? And my answer is always the same. And I say to these people, as soon as you love unconditionally every single time, as soon as you master unconditional love, and that makes people scratch their heads, especially those who have not yet had a heart healing or a heart awakening. See, I've found, and I think many of you would agree, that people like to have control, okay, of situations. They like predictability. And when you play with love, you don't always have control. Because not only is it an emotion, guys, or an action, it's a state of being. And the state of being love, radiating love, becoming love is what I'm after for all of us. When you become love, you don't just feel it for a person. Sure, you can think about how it feels to fall in love, that electric that you feel inside, that giddiness, that bliss, that euphoria, that joy. But that's just the beginning. When you become love, it just radiates off of you. People feel it in your presence. It's undeniable. And in my opinion, it will save the world. Shout out to my girl, Lisa McLean Tudor, who sent me a phenomenal video that I posted in my story, if it let me, because, you know, the fact checkers are checking out on love too these days. It's about Albert Einstein's letters. So Einstein wrote letters to his daughter that were released, I believe, 30 years after he died. He asked his daughter to keep these letters safe and to release them when the world was ready for it. In his opinion, in other words, when he had come to this discovery, he did not believe that humanity was advanced enough to accept what he was presenting. The same way that many of them struggled with E equals MC squared at that time, for Pete's sake. So he found that, and again, I encourage you to watch the video yourself or just Google it, guys. You can look up Einstein's letters that he wrote to his daughter. So she released this in 1980, and it's one of the most beautiful things I ever read. It brought me to tears. And he explains that love will heal the world. Science has not yet discovered or presented, if they have discovered, the power of love. And we've talked about this on and on. And again, I want to invite you to go look up the letter yourself, because I'm not going to pretend like I memorized it. I haven't. But one of the things I really like that he says in this letter to his daughter is that it will heal the world. It is electric. It is energy. It is a frequency, and it's powerful. I know from my own experience that when you heal your heart and when you open yourself up to love, not just within, not just with a significant other, guys, with those that are different than you, with those who have different values than you, with those who are doing things even right now in this crucial, incredible time that we're in, that make you scratch your head or maybe even make you want to puke. What are you doing to stay in the state of love? And if you're not there yet, which I suspect many are not, okay? Or I suspect many can take it a step further. Why not? We always have room to evolve, to improve, to radiate even more love. These are the people that still need to heal the grief in their heart, the abandonment, the fear, the rejection the experiences that they had with love in their past that are keeping them so out of touch with themselves, so out of touch with their heart, so falling into science that is not presenting everything we need to see. So much with any kind of logic or technology, period. When we find love on an unconditional level and we radiate, it takes practice. That's how much so many humans are out of touch with it. That they actually have to practice loving in certain situations because it's actually easier, the way we've been conditioned, to go back to the lower vibrations, to go back to fear, to go back to rejection, to go back to making excuses. That's easier. It's really difficult to love people who are saying things or believe in things and they attack you for them, or they insult you for them, or they dismiss you, or make you feel unloved, unappreciated, misunderstood, all of these things that don't feel good. But we do have the ability, and I do encourage us to remember and practice it every time, that we can choose love in those situations. We can practice love. Love dissolves everything. Love conquers all. Heart healing is the key to this. Those of you that have healed yourself know that it started with love, self-love, and that led you to love others. I saw a beautiful video that someone else sent to me of Italy. Now, if you've been to Italy before, if you're from Italy, I visited Italy a few years ago. And when I was there, the one thing I picked up on the culture, I was in Naples, Florence, Venice, and Rome over a span of a few days. I forget how long it was, guys, maybe a week. And the one thing that was consistent everywhere I went that I appreciated so much was they valued community, they valued family, they valued food and celebration, and they valued togetherness. And when we look back to even the beginning of 2020, I remember videos of them out on their balconies singing, even while in quarantine, because they always found a way to find joy, find love, find bliss, find togetherness, find unity. And guess what? I just saw them do it again in the video I'm talking about that I also had in my story, if it was able to post. It's the one where everyone has their green passport. Some people standing do not because they haven't gotten a shot. But it doesn't matter. People that have gotten a shot and people who didn't are all gathered in some kind of, center of a community. They're outside. And the people with the green passports, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. They're throwing it in the fire. Why were the Italians doing this in a loving way? Why were they able to come together like that, regardless of whether they chose to get a shot or not? They did it because they find love and they want love back. And they prioritize love. They put love above all, these people that showed up for that. I don't know who organized that, but it inspired me because love brings unity. They didn't care about politics. They didn't care about different beliefs. They didn't care about any kind of differences that exist for those people there that day. They made a decision, those people there that day, that they weren't going to let anything take them out of love and take them out of being community, together, one. We never want unity to strip us of our individuality. We never want unity to take us out of our identity. Our individuality and our individual identities should never be diluted in unity. And that's what this was an example of, them not diluting who they are as individuals because they were all very different people. They had very different beliefs at a very critical time, at a very delicate time. But they know what their initial value is, love. The Einstein letter, the video I saw of Italy, the many songs that I listened to, like the one I was playing at the beginning of this live, MGMT, Electric Feel. It's about the electricity that will heal the world, that comes from love, guys. We want to keep practicing it more and more and more. When we're triggered, when we find differences. When we realize, because we are realizing and recognizing that free will exists in this realm and that it's beautiful. And I don't know about you, but I'm not here to convert people to anything. I just know that the Beatles were right when they said, all you need is love. It really is that simple. It really does appeal to everybody. That must be a package, sorry. Guys, chill. Sorry. Yo, chill. Chill, please. Anyway, I just want to express to you guys that love really is the answer to this. And those of you that are warriors of light, you are warriors of love. If you can keep opening your heart more and more and more and more, you will heal yourself, and in turn, we will heal this world. So please, take a second to check out the stories that I have up right now. Let's tune into that more and more. Let's set that intention, however that looks for you. And just remember that perhaps love is the holy key of all of this, right? So with that being said, I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Keep shining. Keep the light lit. Keep the light lit. We got this. We're moving on through it. Stay open, stay in love, radiate love. Take care, guys.